All right, my friends, what do you say we move on now to some basketball and the Lakers? And the Buss family sold their controlling stake in the Lakers earlier this month to Dodger owner Mark Walter for a $10 billion valuation. This past Wednesday, the two sides both really broke their silence, with the Lakers officially confirming the sale. The announcement also confirmed that Jeannie Buss will, quote, remain governor of the franchise and control to oversee all the team operations on a day-to-day basis for the foreseeable future, end of quote. The Athletic also reports that the plan is for Buss to remain in the position for years moving forward. The sale was approved by majority vote for Buss and her siblings. All right, partner, this is really amazing. Quite a shock when the news came out that the Lakers sold for a record $10 billion, big ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of different reactions because I think when you look at the Lakers historically, Jerry Buss and Jeannie Buss were always adamant that it was going to stay in the Buss family. I remember speaking to Jeannie about 10 years ago in her office about this during, a lot of strife internally with missed playoff appearances, injuries to Kobe Bryant, coaching changes, front office dynamics with her brother Jim. And she had said at that point, and I quote, about Jerry Buss, he worked very hard to be in a position so that our family could keep this team forever. We're committed to doing that. But 10 years later, so much has changed, Jim. Philip Anstey sold his shares to Mark Walter, so that got him in the Lakers family, so to speak. The valuation of franchises have just skyrocketed. The Boston Celtics sold for $6 billion. Mark Cuban's share with the Dallas Mavericks was $3 billion, and so with the Lakers being $10 billion, it's not surprising, but it's really crazy because that's $10 billion without even including Crypto.com Arena, because the Lakers don't own that arena. So if you include that, you can only imagine how much that evaluation would be even higher.
And the end of an era for the Buss family.
Yeah, but I think that there is a transition here because, as you had mentioned, Jeannie Buss, she's still going to have her role as governor. She's still going to be running the business side. She might be now reporting to a boss here, but I think that her day-to-day is not going to change. How she managed basketball operations, she largely deferred to their decisions. It really just came down to approving financial expenditures here. So that's what changes. Mark Walters has a lot more ability to spend, but I think that the ability to spend is not going to necessarily be about the roster because the NBA has a salary cap. It's more about the resources with the team staff.
Mark Walter knows how to win. I mean, just look at the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, the record speaks for itself.
Right.
Different rules in baseball, but he's committed to spend to win.
When you think about it, you have to really have great vision, and I'm talking about vision of the future, which is what Walter has.
Yeah, and I think when we're looking at baseball, it's apples and oranges. Of no salary cap, there's salary cap with the NBA, but I think the common denominator is Mark Walter. He's all about hiring the right people, empowering them, getting out of the way, and also making sure that he spends money and gives them resources to succeed.
The key thing you just said, he knows how to hire people and hire the right people.
Yeah, and I think as it pertains to the Lakers, what does that mean? I think it's more resources in analytics staffs, team front office, support staff. They're going to spend on the superstars. That's what the Lakers always do, but it's more about everything else behind the scenes. I think will have a lot more support.
Means more championships for the city of Los Angeles. But what about ticket prices, though? With these big salaries that they're having, somebody's got to pay for it.
Yeah, that's usually what happens, Jim. And I think regardless of sale, the ticket prices have always gone up and up and up. And especially when you look at the Lakers, that's always what it's been about. But when you look at the fact that it's $10 billion in evaluation at some point, the sale will be finalized. Some people have to foot the bill, and ultimately that comes down to the fans at some point.
Yeah, and the city of Los Angeles will have some big-time parades, that's for sure.